Hello viewers, welcome to CEC lectures. Myself Dr. Preeti Jagwani. I am from Department of Computer Science, Aryabhatta College, University of Delhi. So today we are going to begin our new series which is titled as Programming in Java. And as the title, as the title must have told you that we are going to learn our programming language which is Java in this series. So our today's agenda in this lecture is, as we are going to begin this series from this particular lecture, we are going to discuss first the history and evolution of Java, what actually Java is, and some basic introduction to it. So basically Java, as you must have heard, that this is world's most important and this is one of the world's most important and widely used computer languages. If I am going to talk about the basic, it is based on the concept of object oriented programming systems, and this object oriented programming systems or what is the paradigm of object oriented programming, that is OOPS, that we have already seen in our previous lecture of previous series of C++. Now when we talk about Java specifically, it is one of the it is one of the among top computer languages which is used for web, which is used for mobile and also for the desktop application. So now you can understand the versatility. It is used for web programming, it is also used for mobile programming, and it is also used for desktop applications. Why and how, this I will be going to cover in our upcoming lectures. Now coming to, so we have understood it is a programming language based on object oriented programming paradigm concepts and so on and so forth. So if we talk about the importance of Java, it is right from its first release, there we will be considering the history and then we will be seeing how many versions have been released till this point. But yes, what we can say is right from its first release, it is one of the we can say front runner in the case of or in the applications of internet programming, or even for web based applications. When we look for some choices, it is one of the topmost choices when when a programming language for developing web based applications is considered. It is also used for Android programming, as I have just told you that we are also going to see why this is used for mobile programming. And so we can say internet programming, your web based applications, your desktop applications, and also the usage for Android programming, it is making this whole language so important that we can say that much of the modern world is running on this Java code. Now coming to the structure and how it looks like, how we can program it. So it is Java, we can say, is directly is related to C++. Now C++, as you all are aware, that's a direct descendant of C. So we can say that most of the flavor of Java or the character of Java is actually a combination of two languages. One is the C, from where it has brought its syntax. Now why I am saying the syntax is being brought from C, because Java, as I have told you, is related to C++, and C++ is a direct descendant of C. So a syntax we can say is brought from C, while the object oriented programming features are brought from C++, because C being just a kind of a structured language, it is not an object oriented programming language, as you all are aware. So the object oriented programming features are brought from C++, while the we can say syntax is brought from C. Now when we talk about why a particular language is being invented, so when we go into the deep roots of this, we always found that there is actually behind the invention of any, or behind the innovation of a new language, there is a need to solve a fundamental problem which the current or the preceding languages could not solve. And Java is actually no exception. So is, this is also the motivating factor behind, motivating cause behind innovation of Java, that there were some fundamental problems which were, which earlier languages or the preceding languages were not able to solve. Now, what are those problems which were not being solved by the preceding languages, that we will that we will see soon. But before that, let me tell you a bit of history of Java. It was conceived by mainly by James Gosling, Patrick Norton, Chris Worth, Ed Frank, and Mike Sheridan at Sun Microsystems in 1991. This 1991 was the year when the Java was conceived by a group of, we can say, not the scientists but the programmers, and there all these James Gosling, Chris Worth, all these names which you are hearing are actually real world programmers. And because of this thing, Java is also called as the language of programmers. Now it started in 1991. It took 18 months to develop the first working version. So first working version was, we can say, was out in kind of was ready in 1992. But what happened initially is, initially this language Java was named as Oak, but then later on in 1995 it was renamed as Java. Initially it was called as Oak, but then later renamed as Java in 1995. Now what happened between the initial implementation of Oak, which was happening in the fall of 1992, but the public announcement of Java was done in the spring of 1995. The evolution of the language took place and many more people contributed to the design. So it was conceived in 1991, the initial implementation was ready in 1992, and the public announcement although was made in 1995. Now, what was the fundamental problem which I was talking about, that there is a fundamental problem which is at the basic bottom root cause of any innovation, that is the for Java. Many people understood that for behind the innovation of Java, it was the internet was the factor, but actually it was not like that. The original motivating factor behind innovation of Java was not the internet. The primary motivation was the requirement of a platform independent language. Platform independent, when we talk about here, is actually nothing but a language which is not dependent on the architecture of computer, or we can say architecture neutral, which can run off which can run on all the devices without being we can say without being modified. So we need a platform independent language which is not I can say which is not based on, or which is not biased towards any of the architecture. Now why this is required? Because around that time what was increasing was the interest of the research community in consumer electronic devices such as microwaves, oven, remote controls, washing machines, and so on and so forth. So the language which was required as the platform independent, or we can say as the architecture neutral, was required to create a software to be embedded in these electronic devices, as which I have just for examples of which I have just told you: microwave, washing machine, any electronic devices. So basically the need was for a platform independent architecture neutral language which can be used in order to create the softwares. What softwares here I am talking about? Those softwares which can be embedded in various consumer electronic uh, devices. Now was C and C++ not good enough to solve this particular motivation, or to fulfill this particular motivation, or to solve this particular problem of this embedded software in consumer and embedded software in consumer electronics? So let us look into C and C++ also. Basically this C and C++ were designed to be compiled for the specific targets, and what we are looking here is actually your we can say architecture neutral, but C and C++ are compiled for a specific target. That means if I need a C++ program to be compiled on let us say one of the CPUs, it requires a full C++ compiler targeted for that particular CPU. And if I am going to change the CPU, then the compiler, C++ compiler has to be changed, because the previous C++ compiler was targeted for that particular CPU only. Now compilers, when we talk about, these are not kind of we can say a cheap thing to create. These are pretty expensive and time consuming things to create. So we need an easier and more cost efficient solution, which is kind of a platform independent language, a portable language that could be used to produce code, such a code which can run on a varieties of CPU using different environments. So in different environments, if we are going to fix in different variety of CPU, we need a language that if one particular program is written, then that program must be executed, then that program is able to be executed without modifications on various CPUs. So this motivation or this problem of looking for a architecture neutral language ultimately lead to the creation of Java. So again I am repeating, the primary motivating factor was not the evolution of internet, or was not the evolution of World Wide Web behind innovation of Java. It was the requirement of a language in order to create the software which can be embedded in various we can say various electronic devices, and this language must be platform independent. Now at the second place I can say there was the factor of internet, or we can say World Wide Web, but not at the primary place. Now also some people say that Java is actually the internet version of C++, because it has kind of taken its syntax from C, then it is having all object oriented programming features plus some other features obviously. So all object oriented programming features which are available in C++, the syntax is borrowed not borrowed, but syntax is related to C, we can say. So can we say that Java is actually the internet version of C++? So the statement saying that Java is internet version of C++ is actually not correct, because there are many important practical and philosophical differences between the two. Yes, we can say that Java is influenced from C++ or influenced by C++, but it is not the enhanced version, or it is not the internet version of C++. Neither it was designed to replace C++. Both C++ and Java are having their own kind of different usages, different set of problems which they can solve, and they are focused on solving different applications, or providing a solution to different applications. So we can say that Java was never designed to replace C++, because both are having their own importance, and both are going to kind of we can say carry or both are going to work for many years longer, many more years to come. Now yes, we can say that Java was Java enhanced and refined the object oriented program paradigm which was used by C++. So Java is also using that object oriented paradigm, but in a refined and enhanced manner. It also integrated, it also added the support for multi-threading. Also it provides a library which is there to simplify the internet access. So it is not only the object oriented programming concepts which are kind of we can say related to C++, but many additional facilities like support for multi-threading, then a library for providing internet access, and some other exceptional handling facilities in the form of object oriented programming thing. That is something, these qualities or these characteristics are something which are added to Java on top of C++, we can say. Now coming to when we say that there is the second motivating factor about the Java, about the evolution of Java was World Wide Web or the internet. So we need to see that how this Java has changed the internet. So when we talk about internet and we look into the its structure, so internet, as you all are aware, it's a kind of network. So basically as an entity, internet is a network, and network, when we talk about the model, it is based on the client server model. Now Java, when we talk about, it is having facilities or network program which are available for the client side, which are the applet. And if we talk about the server side, it is also having servlet. So the on the web browsers side, why I am talking about web browser, because web browser can be taken as the client. So for client it is having applet programming, and for the server side it is having servlet programming. So for both the components of the client server model available on the internet, your Java is having programming facilities. So web programming in general, it has we can say it has started, then innovated a new type of network program which is called applet. Then applet is something, applet and servlet both we will be covering in detail in our upcoming lectures. Also the major issues which were there on the internet, these issues were portability and security. Both these issues were kind of we can say taken care or addressed by the Java programming. Now coming to when I am talking about the Java applets, these are something, or we can say a special kind of Java programs that is designed to be transmitted over the internet. This Java applet is going to be transmitted over the internet, but automatically executed by a Java compatible web browser. Now what is the significance of the web browser here being the Java compatible? I will be covering soon. So one Java program or a special kind of Java program which is transmitted over the internet, as far as execution is considered, it is going to be executed on the client side, or we can say it is going to be executed by a web browser which is Java compatible, and also it is downloaded on demand without further interaction with the user. So for example, in order to download an applet, if you are going to click a particular link, your applet will be downloaded on the with the help of the browser. Browsers must be Java compatible there. So the applet will be automatically downloaded on clicking that particular link, and it will start running in the browser. Also, as these what I am trying to say here is uh, these applets, as I have told you, are the programs which are transmitted over the internet. So that means the primary motivation behind, the primary condition is these programs should be small, we can say. Now apart from that, basically these applets, what is the use of applets when we talk about why these these programs are designed which are transmitted onto the network then executed on the client side. So basically the usage of applets is to display the data which is provided by the server. Server is providing some data to the client. In order to display that data, applet is being used, or in order to handle the user input. User is inputting something that has to be handed over to the server. So in order to handle the user input, your applet is useful. or even providing some simple function, let's say for example a calculator or something of that, which is executed locally on the client machine rather than on the server. So applet is something which is related to the, which is completely related to the client side. So in short or in general, we can say that the applet is allowing some of the functionality to be moved from server to the client. The functionality which was available on the server till this point is actually moved on to the client with the help of applets. These applets are the programs having these functionalities bundled within them, and then these are executed at the client side. So basically functionality which was earlier uh, at the clients at the server side was not now moved to the client side. Now this creation of applet actually we can say it changed the internet programming in a complete manner, because it expanded the or it entered into the universe of objects that can move about freely in the cyberspace. So till this point in the cyberspace we were not able to move kind of programs or something of that sort, but with the creation of the applet, the internet programming has changed, because now the universe of objects that can move about freely in the cyberspace included applet also. Now what kind of objects I am talking about which were available in this universe of cyberspace, and the objects which are moving between the server and the client. So considering the categories of those objects that are transmitted between the server and the client, basically there are two categories. One is the passive information, another one is are the active programs which are dynamic. So when we talk about the email, so email is your passive data. When we are going to download a program, the program's code is still only the passive data, unless unless it is being executed, we can say. Uh, on the contrary, if I am talking about the applet, it is a dynamic self-executing program. So now we have both the two categories. One is the passive categories in which our emails are falling in, and another one is the dynamic category in which the applet are falling in. And this applet is actually a self-executing active program on the computer, which is getting executed on the client side, but it is initiated by the server. The server has initiated it, server has transmitted that applet onto the network, but client computer is going to execute it. So in this way we can say the evolution of Java has changed the internet whole throughout the space of whole internet programming in a complete manner. And we have also seen the client side version of this, in which the applet in which an applet is going to be executed. Now in our upcoming lectures we will along with the more characteristics of Java, we will be seeing how these servlets, which are the server side programs, are going to change the game of internet programming when looked from the server side's point of view. So in this lecture we have covered the concept of the basics of applet, and also we have seen what actually Java is, and also we have traced some of the dots in the history and the evolution of Java. Here is a list of references which is being used for the preparation of lecture. Hope you have enjoyed the lecture. I will see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Goodbye.